Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Hussain Ali John and I'm currently a prosthodontic resident at a college in Maharashtra. So the primary agenda of this video is give my insights and my subjective take on how to select an MDS college in this counseling process. So number one thing that you need to do is wait for the result, and let's say the NEET result has come. The next thing you need to do is decide कि you want to do MDS. If you're thinking of fellowship, CCRP or any local courses, then this video is probably not for you. This video is primarily going to be about selecting your MDS college and making that counseling list. Okay, so when we are making the list, we have to think retrograde. We have to assume that we've gotten an All India rank 1. So, and after that, think about the branch. It's okay if you can't jot it down to just one branch. If you figure out okay, this branch interests me, even let's say ortho interests me, but prosthodontics is also what I'm looking at. It's okay if you have gotten 2-3 branches in queue, and you have to fill your seats according to that. Again, it's your personal choice. So how will you select your branch? I'll just brief a bit about that. You talk to people, you talk to your teachers, and you introspect what actually you want to do. Because if you want a specialty practice, if you're practicing in like a tier 1, tier 2 city, will you be practicing a specialty practice, a class practice? Then your specialty matters a lot, I believe so. That is one thing that you need to look at. Yep. And where do you see yourself after MDS? Do you see yourself moving to a place where specialty practice matters or it doesn't? These are the things that you need to look at when you're selecting a branch. The next thing you need to look at is your finances. Let's say you have the rank in front of you and you're probably not getting a clinical government seat. The next option is either a private clinical seat, or if your rank is a bit okay, then you can go for a non-clinical government seat. And you have to pick and choose between that. Right. So that will be based on the finances that you have. So if you are earning, or if you are doing a bit of consultations, you're working at a clinic and you have certain amount saved up, the rest you will take a loan or whatever the situation is. You have to figure that out. You have to talk to your guardians, you have to talk to your parents what the situation is, because doing MDS at a private college is not an inexpensive affair. You need to figure out finances for those 3 years. That is one thing you need to look at. The next thing is location. And a lot of people ignore this, but location is very important. Let's say you do not want to move away from home or too far away from home, and you want a college near your home. Yep. So you need to target those colleges as well, and eventually inquire about the branches that are good in that college. And you have to, and one of the few benefits that is about living close to home is people obviously know you around that area. It will be good for building up networks and consultations, and the eventual economics would be in your favor. You won't have to spend a lot in the hostel for food and a lot of things. So that is one of the things that you need to look at. Okay, so after you gotten your rank, after you figured out about your branch, you figured out about your finances, then the next thing that you will do is look at the lists that there are. By lists, I mean the selection lists of the previous years. So what I have done is in the description below you will find a Google Drive link of the selection list of last year of All India Counseling and the Maharashtra State Counseling. So you can look at that and get a tentative idea what are the potential colleges you might be getting in round 1, round 2, round 3, whatever that is in these counselings. I'm sorry I do not have data about the other open states or closed states. I believe they're freely available on the internet. They're just a Google search away. So please do that. Also, there is a link of the stipend and the fees of All India Counseling stuff. So in All India Counseling, the colleges that are participating are the government colleges and the deemed colleges. So uska data about the fees and the stipend is in that link. That link I believe is of the last year, the previous year, and I believe they will update a link this year as well, but in the meantime you can use that link for just have some information about how the situation is right now. So that is how the situation is. So when you look at these lists, you will have some observations. So the first thing is the top clinical branches of the government that are in the government colleges that go for the higher rank people go for are prostho, ortho, endo and OS. Then comes perio and pedo. For the non-clinicals, again OMR, OP and PhD are there. But before that, a lot of people target good deemed colleges. Again, there are good deemed colleges, bad deemed colleges. We'll get into that. So before government non-clinicals, people usually target a good deemed colleges ka clinical seat. The reason is obvious, right? But if the financial situation of any candidate is not great, which is perfectly fine, they go for a non-clinical government seat because they give a decent amount of stipend and the fees is almost minimal. That is the case. Okay, so let's say you have the rank in front of you. You have looked at the lists of the previous years. You know your finances. You know your branch. Now comes the task of making the list. Like I've said, assume your rank is 1 and work retrograde. Let's say I'm a candidate from Maharashtra who wants to do orthodontics. Now I will obviously target a government seat if I've gotten a great rank. Why? Because the patient flow would be great and a lot of factors, right? I do not have to pay a huge amount. I do not have to. I'll get a stipend as well. So these are the things that are placed. So when I'm making the list, let's say the 4 government colleges that are in Maharashtra, I want to target, and my priority is I want a college in Maharashtra. So I'm looking at these 4 government colleges at first, and I want to do orthodontics. So what I'll do is I'll contact an orthodontics resident of these 4 colleges via a call or maybe through some of my networks. Maybe one of my friends knows someone there who knows an orthodontics resident. So that is one of the things I will do and contact them about the shenanigans of orthodontics as a branch in that college. Maybe it's great at GDC Nagpur, maybe it's not great at another college. So that's how I'll make the list. And after I've inquired thoda sa, what I highly recommend that you do is actually visit these colleges. Visit how the infrastructure is, how the department works, how is the toxicity, even though toxicity would be in all of the colleges to varying extents. You have to figure out what can you compromise on and what you cannot. If the college follows a digital protocol for, let's say, since I am an aspiring prosthodontist, a lot of colleges do not have digital support for their implants or another thing. Some do not have a lab support. So these are the things that you need to look at. Let's say you've jotted down a few branches. Now what you do is go to an orthodontist or go to your staff in your UG college and figure out the things that you need to actually ask when you actually visit these colleges that you potentially might be getting, right? So if I'm talking about prosthodontics, what you need to look at is, okay, prosthodontics mein thoda kharcha hai. You need a certain amount of armamentarium, like the Hanau Wideview 2 you need. So some colleges provide the Hanau articulator to their students. In some colleges they have to buy separately. Now that instrument costs around 1.5 lakhs. So if the college is giving its students, then that's obviously a benefit, right? Then comes the digital support. A lot of colleges do not have a digital support for a lot of the procedures. Lab support is not there, so they outsource it to a third party. How is the pre-clinics? Some colleges have an extensive preclinical workload on their students, which has its pros and cons. Some do not have such a heavy preclinics. So you have to pick and choose about that as well. So each branch will have its shenanigans. I would recommend to write those down and ask those things to the resident, to the, maybe not the staff, but the residents there at the college that you are potentially getting. ask the JR1, ask the JR2, ask the JR3, and I would also recommend you to talk to a few UG students. Okay, so tell me what do you hate about the college, what's great about the college, and then you have all this information with you about the potential colleges that you are getting of the particular branch you are targeting. Then you can make a proper informed decision of, okay, this is the college, these are the colleges I am getting, this I will put on top, this I will put at the bottom. And if there are colleges that are a proper red flag, you will know to not include them in the final list that you will be preparing. So these are very important things that you need to look at, and a lot of students just through a few calls or someone's recommendation fill these sheets and fill the choices and regret later. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the counselor. So a lot of counselors do exist. Personally, I do not endorse anyone, nor would I recommend to go and pay any counselor to do your choice filling, because I believe we are graduates now and we have enough in us to actually make an informed decision and to actually do the hard work for ourselves, not only save the money but actually gain knowledge about different colleges while we are doing this process. I believe the counselors will also have a very, very subjective perspective about such things, and actually going to the college and checking yourself is a better affair than relying on someone's advice or someone's words. That's one thing. Okay, so that's, I believe, pretty much it. If there is anything extra, I will put it in the description below. I hope this video helped you a bit about how to go about selecting your college and making your counseling list. So there is the All India counseling, there is the state counseling which you have the domicile of. There are certain open states which allow different state K candidates to participate in. If your rank is not great, I believe certain colleges in Rajasthan and MP, I believe, are open states, so they allow candidates to participate in their counseling. But beware of counselors, of course, but also do not participate in multiple counselings, because they demand a security deposit, and if you do not take the seat that you have gotten, you might lose lakhs of rupees. So that is one of the things that you need to look at. But please look at your rank, please look at the lists, and make an informed decision. That's what I would recommend. And there's also a thing that you need to look at. I believe All India counseling, after a certain point of time, All India counseling and state counseling work. They go about their counselings in tandem. So eventually you need to pick and choose which counseling you actually want to participate in. Yep, and if you have gotten a seat in a particular round, you probably have to take a seat. It will be great if you can go through the brochure whenever it comes, or if it has come, please go through the brochure in depth, so you do not lose your money and make a proper decision yourself. And I believe it will all work out. Hoping for the best for you guys. Do take care.